What's up, everybody? This is Elizabeth, the Minister of Beauty, here to share the Bible that is business, inspiration, beauty, life, and enjoyment. And I'm here with a little bit of enjoyment, some food that I love to make every once in a while. And this recipe is red rice. It's something that is not really known how to make by a lot of people. And I've been making this for several years now. I don't make it all the time, but when I do, I have to say I pretty much make it to perfection. So I thought I would share it with everyone. I actually had a little chat with my hairstylist several weeks back, and I don't know how we got on the topic of it, but we were talking about food. And she asked me about red rice, and I said, oh, I can make that easy. And she said, really? Because I've had such a hard time making it. And we just started chatting about it, and I just pretty much told her how I make it. And she sent me a Facebook message with a screenshot of her meal, and she said, hey girl, I got the red rice down and I'm so happy. So I was like, go girl. So I thought I would share it with everyone. But these are the products that I use. I like to use Uncle Ben's original rice. It's pretty easy to cook. I also use tomato juice. I don't use tomato paste or tomato sauce. I don't use ketchup. I know some people have those in their recipes for red rice, but I use tomato juice. And it just makes it easier to make the consistency right, as well as bacon. I also like my rice to be a little on the spicy side, not too spicy, but just to have that kick. So I also use hot sauce and of course salt and pepper. So to begin, I actually do use some bell pepper, and I just have that chopped up, and I saute my bell pepper in a pan like this, and just sauteing it enough so that it gets a little bit brown. You don't need it to be completely cooked, because when you add the rest of your ingredients, then it's going to help cook the bell pepper. After that, I add 2 cups of tomato juice, and I put that in the same pan with the bell pepper, and I add a little bit of salt, and I allow it to come to a boil. Once it comes to a boil, I add 2 cups of the red rice. I add 2 cups of rice. It's not quite red yet. And then I allow that to come to a boil, and then I put it on low, and you want to just keep it on low. And after that, I add about another ½ cup of the tomato juice. And once you've done that and you just keep it on that low temperature, you allow it to just cook on that low temperature. Continue to stir it, and you have to stay in the kitchen. You cannot go to another place and forget about what you're doing. You have to just pretty much stay in the kitchen and keep your eyes on your pot or pan and allow that to cook as you continue to just stir, and make sure that your rice is not sticking to the bottom of the pan. So you can see here I'm stirring it around, and you can see the heat coming off of the top, and that's on a low setting. And the reason you want to keep it on the low setting is to prevent it from sticking to the bottom of the pan, and of course you want to prevent it from burning. I don't have a real set time, so you just have to just keep your eyes on it. But as you continue to stir and as you continue to check, you can see the rice becoming fluffier. And if it seems like your rice is not getting as fluffy as it should be, you can add just a little bit more of the tomato juice to the pan and just pour it over the top and just stir it around. And put the cover back on and keep it on the low setting, because the low heat and having that top on top of the pan, it's going to help with that rice consistency and making sure that it stays nice and fluffy. While the rice is in the pan, I have my bacon strips in the oven. I like to put my bacon in the oven, and it gives it a really nice crispy taste, and you want to make sure it's nice and crispy and crunchy. and that will allow you to break up the bacon. When it's done and it's nice and brown and crispy, then you can pull it out and you can see my bacon on top of the baking sheet here, and it's nice and crispy. Now, when I cook, I have a designated pair of gloves that I like to use for cooking. I'm not saying there's anything wrong with getting your hands messy and goopy when you're cooking, but I like to keep my hands as clean as possible. So I have a designated set of gloves that I use strictly for cooking. I wash them before I am going to put the gloves on any food, and I wash them after and I put them up. And you'll know when your gloves, if you're going to do this yourself, are at the end of its life cycle and you need to replace them. But this is why you see my hands with gloves on. So don't be alarmed. I'm not using these gloves for cleaning the house and then cooking food as well. And as you can see here, this is how I take care of my gloves. Now I've got my gloves on and I'm just taking a piece of the bacon and I'm crumbling it up into the pan. And I just wanted to show you this is how I break up the bacon. I'm not going to do all of that right now on camera, but that's just how you want to break up your bacon. Just break it up into little pieces. And if you don't want to make your own bacon, you can always just buy the pre-packaged bacon or maybe even the real bacon bits, but I just prefer real bacon. So I've got all my bacon crumbled up into the pan and I'm stirring it around with the rice. And this smells really good. I can't even explain. And you may ask, when do you put it in the hot sauce? But the hot sauce, I actually just had it mixed in with the tomato sauce. So when I poured it into the pan to put it on boil, it's all mixed up together. So after it's all said and done, there you have it. This is my pot of red rice, and depending on how much you eat, it could serve up to 4 people in one sitting, or you could just have enough for leftovers. It's up to you, but that is how I make red rice, you guys. I hope you will try this recipe and let me know what you think. Let me know if you have any questions about it. But I just wanted to share it with everyone. I hope you enjoyed this video. Thanks for giving me a thumbs up. If you have any other suggestions or any other tips, let me know. I'd love to hear about it. But this is Elizabeth, the Minister of Beauty, thanking you so much for watching this video. And I will see you on the next one. Have a beautiful and amazing day.